We bet you got the Chichen Itza and the Etowah Mounds. You got the famous dancer dancing my Prius on the left carrying a stickball, bracket, and human head, and the dancing little priest carrying a Mayan scepter and a human head. Alright. Notes on the origin of the Seminole Indians of Florida. The settlement of the Seminole Indians of Florida has been entirely within the historical period. There were renegade Creeks, the Muskogee, from Georgia, who invaded Florida following the raids made by the English under the Governor Moore. In South Carolina, beginning in 1702, Moore drove out the Timucuans, who inhabited northern parts of Florida, extended far southward. The protection of Fort St. Augustine. You also got your Gule, or your Gulae, the Gule, or now called the Gullah Geechee. Okay, the Creeks, who were his allies, called in a Seminole following these English raids. These words, the Seminole is for Sua, sun god, Ma, literally mother, but in such connections as most empathetic negative old people are derived synthetically on Ak as the regenerative being attributed to water, specifically the ocean and the origin of life. The name Seminole is therefore people whom the sun god does not love, i.e., occurred. The Indians found here in the early explorers de Navarres and De Soto were evidently descendants of the Mayan immigrants from Yucatan. Some of them, as from example, the Appalachians. The Appalachians. Not beyond, man, we over here early in the morning, but the Appalachians can be treated by the name. The headwaters of the Ganari stem from the Orinoco River of South America. The original Indians living between the Culia and the Apalachicola River took the name of Muskogees following De Soto's expedition. That is, except the remnants retained the name Appalachians, and they lived near the mouth of the Apalachicola River. And a band of summer 14 have been all that were left, and forced migration to the west made by the motherfucking U.S. government. Thought this was a cool Seminole photo. A little extra out, they scalping shit. And some of the content we put together, me and Asha Monet, if you like anything, we can print these out, make your poster, frame it, send it to your house. Just let me know. These Muskogees. Now, the Mayan civilization is believed to also started to collapse a few hundred years after that. So, as we get to the 800s, the Mayan civilization, we believe, might have experienced similar things, maybe some some droughts and famines that were similarly caused by uprising, division, and allowed to. So, the collapse now. There's evidence of some of these cities lasting beyond the classical period, all the way up until they have European civilizations of the region. Even the Aztecs considered themselves a mere successor state of the civilization of Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan is unknown along the ethnic. The Teotihuacan is unknown along with their ethnicity. Of its ruins, no one knows exactly who built the city for what purpose. Archaeologically, historians are unclear whether, with the ethnicity of the empire, city-states is just a religious and commercial center with little or no territorial ambitions. It was one of the largest population centers in all of Mesoamerica at the time. And some of the historians say that the height of the population is the first centuries, and it was easily the fifth or the sixth most populous city in the world, with over 250,000 people living there. It is in spite one of the most grandeur in the scope of the impact of Mexico made centuries after the collapse of Tenochtitlan. Today, largely remains of a huge mystery. What do we know about these places? In the Spanish arrived in the early 18th century. Squatters lived among the ruins. The Aztecs ruined the surrounding areas, who ruled the surrounding areas at the time of the Spanish conquest, did not build Tenochtitlan. In fact, the Aztecs empire only came prominent about 1,000 years after the height of the city of the Aztecs, though the place, and it was said that the gods and the sun itself came there from the Emperor Montezuma. It was also said it would take a regular pilgrimage from his capital, Tenochtitlan, to Tenochtitlan, which were revered by the Aztecs. Now, the Aztecs knew anything about the city origins, who lived there, and why the place even existed. The city was built on the north-south axis, applied precisely at 15.5 degrees east. North of the city is a grid extended uniformly across a vast land, an area and city at the height around 450, and the area launched Tenochtitlan properly covered some 32 square miles, dominating the core of the city. The Avenue of the Dead, de Casa de los Muertos in Spanish, which is over 150 feet wide as the thickest point in the ruins over the miles. The name of the Avenue of the Dead is a direct translation of the Duwalt word of the road of Micoyute. The Aztecs named it because they believed that the platform lining the road contained tombs besides the platform on the side. Okay, we're gonna show you why they thought that. Why did they think that? Shout out to the grandpas. Y'all see that? All right. All right. We're gonna show you why.
Really? Yeah. Because wait, you got.
Hallelujah, as you see. With hallelujah, otherwise it comes to pass that the inhabitants existed in the region North and South America, having retained a very expressive Hebrew word and repeated so distinctively, applying after the manner of the Hebrew and religious accumulations, as you can see. Hallelujah.